And just like that, folks, it is the middle of September already. Happy Hump Day, everyone. I am Jennifer Bennett, art director of Reformation Productions and an avid Tinkerbell collector. And this is Marketing with the Misses. Today, I wanted to weigh in on some controversy that is hot off the press. Whatever could that be? Well, there's so much to choose from. Specifically, today, I would like to talk about the hot water that Netflix has found itself in with the introduction of its edgy and controversial new lineup for the fall. Now, one film in particular has gotten the world's undies in quite a twist, and that film is Cuties. It's a French film and Sundance Film Festival winner back in January of this year. Generally speaking, the plot is it's a coming-of-age story of an 11-year-old girl in today's hypersexual world. Yikes. This sounds a little dangerous to me. Anyways, Netflix purchased the film earlier this year and set out for an international release. And when it did that, all hell broke loose. Netflix decided to change the poster or art cover for the promotion of the movie. Now, originally, it was a street scene of the 11-year-old group of girls on a shopping spree where they were wearing bras and sexy panties on the outside of their clothes. Right. And if that wasn't provocative enough, Netflix decided to change the poster to look more like a dance competition sort of advertisement. Now, the movie centers around this group of 11-year-old girls rehearsing for a dance competition. But here, the young ladies were depicted in full makeup, skin-tight, revealing sparkly dance costumes, and posing in a very adult and sexual manner. What the heck? Anyways, I kind of feel like it went from bad to worse. This shocked and nauseated a lot of folks who thought it hypersexualized the young minors. And to make matters even worse, the plot description offered in the Netflix app was also pretty barftastic. I'm not going to go into telling you guys what it said, but if you're that curious about it, feel free to consult the Googles. Now, the outrage spread throughout the Netflix community like wildfire, and it propelled people to lead a crusade to boycott the movie. People were encouraged not to watch the movie and to leave damning reviews on places, like Rotten Tomatoes and social media. Heck, the entire country of Turkey banned the film. The director received death threats. And there was even a hashtag started. #CancelNetflix. Now, social media posts are everywhere right now, encouraging people to cancel their Netflix subscriptions and to post a screenshot as proof that they did so. Now, Netflix originally defended their stance on the film and the manner in which they chose to promote it. Well, that backfired on them in a bad way. Netflix quickly turned around their statement and has since thrown themselves on their sword and apologized profusely to the public via the Twitters. Because that's how we apologize to people these days. They promptly switched the cover art back to the original image of the teenage girls shopping on the street with their underwear on the outside, and rewrote the plot synopsis, this time stripping out any of the sexual connotations. Okay, so now you're all caught up to speed with the latest Netflix Cuties drama. So what's my point here? Okay, well, I have 2 points to make, actually. Point number 1. Last week, I told you that marketing is everything. And it is. And here, we see how powerful it is. Netflix's internal marketing of this film was so powerful enough to cause people to turn away even before they could see the film. Now, marketing is ideally designed to pull out the emotions of people and trigger them to take immediate action based on those feelings. And boy, did it. It caused people to not only want to shut down the movie, but the entire service that the movie sits on. All of the efforts that went into making this film were no match for the marketing firestorm that swept it all away. Now, will the film and the app recover since Netflix's apology? Who knows? Probably. The world is a very sensitive place right now, and Netflix is guilty of being socially irresponsible. The sexualizing and exploitation of minor children right now is a societal powder keg. And in Netflix's desire to grab viewer attention, they were inadvertently playing with fire. This brings me to my second point. Netflix didn't know their target audience well enough, or they completely misread it. They failed to take into account the appeal of the majority of their viewing audience. Now, the very specific audience of people that can handle a film like this is very small. That leaves room for the rest of us, the majority, to have turned stomachs. Just looking at the cover art and reading the movie description. Yes, a company needs to understand that they cannot please everyone. But an issue so polarizing as this one, there's really a real danger in displeasing the majority. Maybe they should have left off the labeling of it being a Netflix original. I mean, it doesn't mean they made the movie, but they did buy it. And when you slap your logo in the corner of all the marketing for it, it sends the message at least that you endorse the film, the product. Yeesh. So risky. But here, I understand why they did it. Netflix wanted to keep their new lineup edgy. They wanted to Tiger King you into viewing something that's maybe a little bit out of your comfort zone. And in doing this, they went tone deaf to their target audience and then Forrest Gumped their way into this controversy. But there are companies that have used controversy to their advantage. Nike made waves riding the coattails of Colin Kaepernick's controversial stand against the NFL and racial inequality a couple years back. 3 years back. 4 years back. In fact, we did an entire podcast episode on Kaepernick and the Nike controversy on our podcast, Straight Shot, back when it happened. So if you want to sink your teeth into that firestorm, I encourage you to go to straightshot.net and look it up. Okay, but here we're specifically talking about the sexual exploitation of children. Netflix isn't the only company to use gratuitous, salacious imagery in their marketing. Not by far. Companies using the sexualization of children and minors in marketing is not new. In the 1970s, Love's Baby Soft perfume was in constant hot water for their hypersexualizing of children in commercials and print. They actually offered a scent that, and I quote, offers the scent of a cuddly clean baby that grew up very sexy. Then, in 1980, a 15-year-old Brooke Shields posed and spoke provocatively in a Calvin Klein commercial that got banned on both CBS and ABC. And the print ads were not any more wholesome. It was shocking then and even more nauseating today, especially with everything that's been going on lately in the news. Listen, guys, we're not talking about the products here. We're not even talking about the companies. We're just talking about the marketing of the product. And I'm not talking about the actual content of this movie. I'm talking about the marketing of this movie. But, okay, let's connect the marketing to the content of the film. Let's look at the original poster for the film. At first glance, what do you think this movie is about? It looks kind of like the movie Clueless, doesn't it? You know, carefree, girls being girls movie. Dare I say, it even looks like it might be fun to watch. Now, let's look at the poster that Netflix changed it to. I don't know about you guys, but I get a totally different vibe here. I mean, along with the original description of the film, I feel like the movie will be more adult, perhaps even sexy. What? Anyway. But if you've actually seen the film, and yes, I have watched it, It would be irresponsible for me to talk this much about something without doing tons of research on it and judging it for myself, right? Because as a mature, responsible, contributing member of society, that's what we all do before we share gotcha headlines and clever, cute little memes, right? Anyways, having taken one for the team, seen the movie, I will say that this movie was not my cup of tea. In much the same way a lobotomy is not my cup of tea either. If you have seen the film, then you would know that neither poster is a good representation of the true content of the film. Neither give a full picture of what this movie is really about. So, what this is telling me is that along with misreading the audience, they also mislead them. They chose titillation over truth. They strayed from what was the truth about their product, and that is a major no-no. For better or worse, they set up false expectations about the movie. Netflix broke the trust of their viewers, and by doing that, they unraveled the brand image they spent so much time weaving. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. In summary, marketing is so powerful. It tells the story before the book has even been opened. It introduces you to the character you will soon fall in love with. It has the power to persuade and evoke emotion. And, as Spider-Man once said, with great power comes great responsibility. Thanks, Stan Lee. Marketing is a responsibility. It's a responsibility to the brand that you will present it truthfully in the most advantageous light, so that others will see it for how amazing and useful it really is. Now, can your brand be edgy? Can your marketing be edgy? Sure. Can it take risks? Absolutely. But do your homework. Keep your eyes fixed on your target audience and feel their pulse. How will they receive these risks? Is it worth the risk to make the point? Can you make the point and stay true to the brand? Will those bold marketing choices propel your brand forward, or, playing with fire, will it leave you up in smoke? That's all the drama I have for you today, kids. But I think that's plenty. Am I right? I know this episode wasn't a real knee slapper, and I think that's because the subject matter is no laughing matter to me. Hopefully Netflix learned a thing or two from all of this. If you missed any episodes of Marketing with the Misses, you can visit marketingwiththemisses.com to see all of my episodes. And if while you're there, you click on the subscribe button and the little bell icon, you will be alerted whenever I drop a new video. And, as always, you can keep an eye out for me on Facebook every Wednesday. Until we meet again, folks, stay healthy, stay positive, and get back to work. Bye.